All right, so today's video, we're actually watching a rank I don't think we've spectated much of or at all. We're watching a Masters, I think Junkrat, or they play a couple heroes, I think. Get to watch a Masters game, a 34-minute Masters game at that. So I want to see what happens because, like, I get some long games in top 500, and it's, you know, obviously like Masters is before GM. But how often do you see a 34-minute game? I mean, when it comes to like. I'm just curious to see. See how it is. It should be a good one. Hope you enjoyed this. Sub to the YouTube if you haven't, because then you know my videos are live. Yeah. All right. With that being said, we're gonna go over to the video and all that stuff. You'll see the. Yeah. Here we go. Let's see how this goes. A Masters Junkrat. We don't get to see this too often. Here we go. Pretty much what I expect so far, a random spam on a Soldier 76 in the middle of the open of this game. That's interesting. Keep in mind, now, as you climb the ranks, and I have talked about this, double sniper in this map is huge. So for you to get value on Junkrat right away is a good sign, because it can be difficult sometimes when you go up against, like, don't get me wrong, I played against really good Junkrats in this map, and they can dominate. It's such a double sniper heavy map. So I'm curious to see how it goes. So far, so good, right? So far. Martin, thanks for the $2 super chat. Appreciate it, thank you. The only problem you're going to run into, and you're already seeing it, is like, you just kind of got to hope that one of yours, yeah. When's the update going live? 2 p.m. Eastern, so about 2 hours from now. Obviously, if you're watching on YouTube, it's already live by now, the update. Novak, thanks for the free prompts. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about, right? Like, you know? Oh, there you go. That's it. That's all you got to do. I was going to say, he's got to hit a random shot across the map. And there you go. Junkrat. World Breaker, thanks for the free prompts. Thank you. That's all you have to, I mean, straight up, that is literally what you have to do in Junkrat there. Because if you ask me, like, hey, what could you do? This is one of the maps that's really difficult, and I think a lot of Junkrats will probably mention this, to get like a good rollout here. What's a Junkrat rollout? A lot of Junkrats will kind of use their minds to get to like spots that are advantageous. Junkertown first point is not necessarily one of them. There's a couple of like fun spots you can go for, like over the top of like the roof onto the stairs. But when they play really far back, you kind of can lose that value a little bit for now. So your biggest issue was getting through first point. Now that you're through first point, you're going to start to see where Junkrat can really shine a little bit more, because now you can kind of play in these areas. But so far, so good, honestly, for a Junkertown. Although the problem is, are you going to be able to get through this first point? Because I see something right here. I guess we'll find out. Did you never notice that before? Yeah, it's part of the lore. The Junkrat and Roadhog lore on this map. Honestly, nice job so far. I like... Straight up, you've been hitting some shots. And that's not even like just random shots off of walls. Like, you're being accurate with your left clicks. That's what I can see. Is this an Ego VOD? It's a 34-minute Masters game on Junkertown. This is not going to be an Ego VOD. Yeah, it's an Ego VOD. I feel like that happens every time somebody asks if it's an Ego VOD. They just immediately get one shot. It's a 34-minute game. I'm telling you. By the way, this is what I mean about like rollouts. You see that right there with Junkrat? They didn't quite go where they wanted to, but you can do really cool plays like that. Sabat, thanks for the preacher press. Thank you, appreciate it. You can do really cool plays like that. So. Well, yeah, Widow's good in this map. Third point, Widow will lose a little bit of that value. But second point, Widow has good sight lines. First point, Widow has even better sight lines. But Junkrat's going to thrive a little bit more in this type of situation in this map. Especially if Junkrat can get top right control with that cast that you just went up the stairs. When you get this type of map control here, this kind of just basically gives your team a good opportunity to win this. This is a good tire spot, which I think you'll probably do after you get the health pack. And I'm not going to... Listen, at this point, your Junkrat's going to be pretty good, so... Ooh! Oh, that would have been sick. That was still good, though.
Happy holidays. Thanks for everything you do for the community.
Ladies, thanks for the 3 months. Thank you, appreciate it. Hope you have... Yeah, happy holidays to you, too. You 3 months. Yeah, you can tell they play a lot of Junkrat, too, because they have, like, a vision on what they want to do here. So, if you're wondering why they're doing that with the tire... Nice tire. It's just so that people don't really know where it's coming from. So a lot of really good Junkrat connoisseurs will kind of like use the tire, you have a general idea, and then they'll just sit there for like 3 seconds, and they'll wait to do anything, and you won't know where the sound cue is from, you don't know where to look, and then eventually that's what happens right there. So that was a good play, and that's what you'll see with Junkrat tires a lot of the time, is you basically just kind of like, yeah, you just set up for that type of play. Also, as you can see, in Masters, the player will also stand on the top of the cart and possibly randomly get one shot. We just watched a 40-minute gold game talking about the same thing. More than likely, they're doing something in, like... Like I said, I do it too. I didn't say it was a good play. I just say, you know, listen. Sometimes you just want to, you know, just chill for a second, let the cart push you. Nice play. So far, I've been perfectly fine with the gameplay. Obviously, the Junkrat is gonna know, like, at this point, I think the Junkrat also knows the strengths and weaknesses of certain maps. So, like, at this point, you're probably like, you know what? Not your best map on first, but you got through there. So chat, if you're wondering what's happening here, and I've talked about this, as you climb the ranks, you're gonna wait on your teammates more often. And you go, what do you mean wait on my teammates more often? Maximizing team fights is better than just try and do deathmatch and hopefully get random picks. So what the Junkrat's doing and what they're doing is they're maximizing their team fights to have 5 rather than run in 1 by 1. Now, granted, you're going to have that in top 500 all the way down to bronze 5. You're going to run all over the place. You're going to have deathmatch games. But in these situations, it's going to be better to wait on your team rather than just to run out there and get rolled. Because you can do it later on, but with your team. I think the Junkrat will know this, but trying to dive up there on the high ground to do that, they probably know is not the most ideal play. Mainly because they have such good sight lines and they can do exactly what they're... Nice shot, but... That was just... Honestly, that was nice. But, the trade may not be worth it for you at this point. So, I can't hit those shots. That was a really good shot by Junkrat. Right, tire... spot probably in between underneath, is my guess. I think that's the safest spot. Or here's fine too, actually. I think they want to get underneath. You see where that pylon is? I think that's what they want to get. Like right around that area. Yeah. Don't mind that. Good trade. Honestly, it's better than just getting rolled and not getting them. So. The reason why you go for the middle there is because it just has so much cover for you that they have to overcommit to try to get you. At the very least, they can overpeak the high ground when they do. So. Here we go. Not bad. Good job. Yeah, I mean, this is fine. You've been pretty accurate with your left clicks, which, I mean, like, for me on Junkrat, is just not a thing, so it's always cool to see it. Marco, thanks for the 9 months of the Preach Press. Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for the 9 months. Yeah, not bad. Good job. So far, pretty decent half for playing Junkrat on Junkertown. So far, so good. Now, obviously, this is a 34-minute game, so a lot is going to happen, so we kind of see where it goes. I want you to be careful about wide peeking too much in this. I mean, I think you have a general idea of that, though, so you're fine. Like, you know there's going to be a Widow. You know you also have to try to make a play. So like, there's this balance that Junkrat has to look for right here where, like, you recognize that their team comp is probably going to be a little bit better than what you're going to have on first point. But you also need to find a spot where it's difficult for them to get you, so you need to be able to both make a play and also be in a spot that's, like, a little bit too aggressive, but you also need to play that way because you can't just sit in the far back and spam. It just won't go as well. So it's an interesting balance. Like, don't be surprised to see Junkrat go back to spawn real quick eventually. Time is the Winter Wonderland sub start. 2 p.m. Eastern, so less than 2 hours. Here we go. Wait for it. But by the way, chat, what you're seeing right now from Junkrat on first point Junkertown, this is expected. You're not seeing anything happen because there's just it's very difficult to find that window of opportunity to be able to make a play. Keep in mind, that happened on attack, right? And that was good. But it's not guaranteed, and Junkrat will be a little bit more inconsistent on this part of the map for that. So this is kind of what I expected on attack, which is why I was also really happy to kind of see where it went. So yeah, you know, not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, that's pretty much what I expect. Today's not the mid-season patch. Today's not considered the mid-season patch. Spamming out the Widow, I like it. Chad, are you seeing what I'm talking about now, though, for Junkrat on this map? Because their team is in snowballing them right now, the play styles had a shift. See? And this is what I'm talking about. Like, and the Junkrat knows this. Where can you find that value, right? It's like, that's what's going to happen. So, this is kind of what I was expecting before the snowball happened, and where your team kind of, like, was able to kind of dominate first and second. You're seeing... it doesn't mean the Junkrat won't come back and pop off right here. It just shows you that getting that same type of value consistently on this map can be super difficult. Not that it won't work. Like I said, I play against good Junkrats all the time that can make it work on this map too. And then sometimes there's going to be unlucky times where, like, we're not even unlucky, just the Widow hitting shots. Good tire. Oh, we didn't get the Sigma though. I'm surprised. I guess the Sigma was. I actually like that tire because I went for the Sigma, which is the right play. It just was just not enough. So yeah, and there you go. Back to spawn. Your team goes. Back to spawn. Your team goes. Since I'm such a pro Genji, are there any tips I can give you? Also, this is just retaken here, so I'm not too worried about that one. Oh, onto Reaper now. Okay. And keep in mind, this is losing a little bit of value of where Junkrat would... I kind of like Junkrat in third, but I also see why going Reaper here would be the play. Still, Reaper's going to struggle here a bit, too. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that's why I said uh-oh. Yeah, so, just so you know, from, like, their point of view, you teleporting up there is going to be such an easy rock for their Sigma. And now they know you use your cooldown, so you're going to go back to spawn. Yeah. So, one thing I want you to work on in that situation is, one, the TP play. You don't have the TP play. I show people this before, but you know what? This is a perfect reminder for the green screen. Let's get this back going here again, chat. I'm going to show this one more time. I've showed it in a previous video, but why not go for it again? All right? I'm going to show you an easy way to get up on the high ground, okay? So, basically... you didn't have the TP up there. And I'm going to show you why this would be a better play for you. So, if you look right here. Okay, see right here? See the spot right here? Okay? You can go up on this high ground. So how do you do that? Well, you jump right here. And then you jump up there. And then you jump one more time up to there. That's my green screen. You see that? So what you're going to do is you're going to jump up here, and then you can technically not have to jump the second, the third one, but then you go right there. So this is how you do it. Right here. Up to here, up to there, just like that. That's it. That's how you do that, and that's it. All right. Instead, what you did was you go up there and you feed, and they see that. On to Ash now. Okay. West, thanks for the 3 months to tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for 3 months. Don't worry, chat. We'll eventually have some more green screen patch notes to where you upgrade it and be able to do more stuff with it. As of right now, we're still working on that. All right, well, I'll make sure to update you with the green screen patch notes as we get there. Yep, yeah, nothing you can do there. You're trying to make a play as Ashe. It happens. I'm not too worried about that one. Let's see what happens here. Will you have the same attack you had last time? You had a great attack. On defense, not so much. So what will happen going into this next part of the map? We'll find out. Ooh, they went Bastion. Okay, this Bastion might play into your comp a little bit more. Or am I not? I only say that because... oh, well, perfect. All right, great start. See, this is more of what I was expecting. Here you go. I said YouTube chat, yeah. All right, playing kind of with the team, playing smart. Going into overtime here soon. Wait for it. I like this. Making a lot of noise, though, while doing this, but they didn't pay attention to it. Perfect. Nice play. Finding value on Junkrat on Junkertown. I like it. Nice job. I'm telling you, them switching to Bastion, I feel like plays into more of what you're able to do value-wise. And what I mean by that is, like, that Widow was what made you not be able to play, right? You weren't able to peek that Widow at all times. So them going Bastion was very surprising to me because they now need to play more stacked. And in theory, keep in mind, in theory, Junkrat will benefit more from a teammate than a team that plays stacked than a team that is just, like, all over the place. Now, you could argue, well, that means Junkrat can isolate them in 1v1s. True. Map dependent, though, right? Kings Row, yes. Junker Town, less so. So, yeah. All right, yeah, that's kind of what I expected again. Oh, your teammates almost got off the point. We have a Sojourner happen. I'm just going to stay from this point of view. Apparently, you don't want to see what's happening in the team fight. You just stare at the floor. All right. Actually, I think during this part, you probably skipped the... Actually, no, you didn't. I think your team wins that. There's what I talk about with the... Ooh, imagine if that gets somebody. Imagine if that hits somebody right now. That'd be amazing. I don't think there's anybody there to get, but that would have been sick. It's time. Spamming in. Nice job. That's perfect gameplay. Yep, you're popping off. I saw all those targets you were going for. Great job getting out of the Sigma ult, by the way. Nice job. Unless they Sigma ult for that, I don't even know. Wonderful. This is the Junkrat gameplay I was expecting. Wonderful job. Now, here's the question. Do you push up further and set up for a good tire? I would say yes to that. I think you want to set up for a tire right now. I know you're, like, worried about the cart, but I think your team would benefit from this. Granted, you don't know where they are, but I think setting up for... Okay, I'm fine with this, too. This is good. Honestly, that still does what it's supposed to do. And that is basically give your team more space in the cart and get cooldowns out. I'm not saying it's the best tire, but I'm still okay with it. You see what the Ana's at. Yeah. Yeah, got Suzu out. Used oh, nice job. Oh, let's go. Got them to use the Zarya bubble. Like, that's all good. Nice job. Well played there. See, making plays. Making plays. Now, the question is, can you bring that same play to your defense? Because your defense last time was you just... Oh. Your defense last time was you just hiding behind walls the whole time. So are you able to bring that to defense is the question. And then obviously we're about to find that out right now. So I'm curious. Same thing's happening. You're trying to find value, but you can't really get it yet? Yeah. So we're seeing the same result happen on defense. Now the question is, will you stick to Junkrat the majority again this time? Last time you switched, I think, on third to Reaper. Yep. So you're seeing a little bit less of that value. Kill you well, thanks for the 10 months of the features present. Thank you, appreciate it. One thing I see some Junkrats do, and I'm not saying this is the perfect play, is they kind of just chill in here, and then they kind of control this area. That can maybe work, but it's so hard to say. I'm not obviously the best Junkrat in that situation, but I think you controlling that part of the map might help. So, I think for the 10 months, appreciate it.
Let's kick this off.
We'll see. Be careful. There's a Widow. Yeah, they're just going to get the point. I would just get out of there if you can. Yeah, nice job. Even then, you might not be able to get out of here. That's what the Zarya does. I saw you felt bad that Zarya had no energy, so you went there and made sure to give him 40 energy, just in case. So far, I would say... Now you would probably make that hero swap. Yep, good job. So this is just kind of learning from the previous rounds and recognizing that it probably wasn't going to be the best play to stay on there. So I'm happy to see that you have made a quicker adjustment. Now, am I saying that Reaper is probably going to be the best pick here? No. But obviously, it's going to be based off of hero pool. It seems like your hero pool so far is like Junkrat, Ashe, and Reaper. So Ashe could have been pretty good here. But I think retaking here as Reaper can be really difficult. You're going to have to wait for your next TP. Otherwise, you're going to have to get your cooldown early. And then that was very nice of you to stay in the grab. But yeah, you're going to lose a little bit of that value. But at this point, you also kind of need to be decisive about what you want to do. Yeah, Reaper just loses a lot of value on this point on retake. And unless, like... Yeah. This map is all ranged? For the most part. Keep in mind, when I say, like, when a hero is good at a map or bad at a map, it doesn't necessarily mean you can't get value or win on that map. Do you get what I'm saying? So, it's just, there's some heroes that have a much easier time on these maps. It's trying to find that value. And how that those team will adjust to it. Wednesday's update, hour and a half or so. Like, for example, I'm going to pause for a second because it was like, we have a little bit of a discussion with this one that I want to talk about because people will be like, oh, well, I watched the video and you said, you know, Widow is really good in this map. And I'll explain something in a second.
12 months, that's almost a year.
So here's the thing, chat. What will get more value? Okay, let's talk about this. The person who's going to be good at Junkrat or the Junkrat trying to go Widow against the player who's really good at Widow, right? You see that? Like, the Widow's going to get more value, but I think trying to necessarily mirror that unless you have a good Widow, they're going to be better off going Junkrat. It just will be a better pick for them overall. And even though I'm saying that Widow is good in this map, it doesn't mean that every player on Widow will get the results that you would expect or want on Widow. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why it's like, yes, there's heroes that are strong on maps, and if you can play the heroes that are strong on maps, that will help you in those maps. But if you can't play those heroes, unless obviously you put in the practice in that hero and you want to practice that hero, like, you can still get value on the hero that is not good in that map because you're probably not going to get any value on that hero to begin with. So it's yeah, anyway.
Let the kitsune guide you.
All right, here we go. All right, just wait.
We're almost there.
Okay. I don't mind this. Taking the high ground. Good job. What's your next play? Remember, they know you just use your cooldown. Oh, yeah. I was going to say, you're going to go... At that point, I'd rather see you fade down to the point and go to the left towards your spawn than just run up top there. You saw the Widow? You need to just be somewhat patient there for a second. I know they're pushing the cart, but recognizing how close that cart is to pushing, you still have about, what, another 10 meters? You can see how many meters it takes, right? 101.86. Your team has the score of 6, so you have the advantage of knowing that. You're going to ult this, but it's not going to go well. Yeah, I mean, I would keep in mind, you still ult that. I think you had more opportunity. Like, to give you an idea, and just to give you an idea on timings, in overtime, you just ran back from spawn and touched the point again. So that should give you an idea now, when you're in that situation again, how much time you actually have when you go into that scenario. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you see how much time you had? You managed to respawn in overtime and still be able to touch the point. So understanding where to be patient at there can be good. Okay, so you're off Junkrat now. Junkrat's worked on attack, but you have now switched off Junkrat to Soldier 76. Let's find out. Here we go.
The barrier payload secure. Barrier has been overwhelmed.
Yeah, I don't mind Soldier here. Soldier still is okay in this situation. Like, if I go up against a good Widow on this map as Soldier, I'm going to have a great time. But I don't mind the Soldier pick to an extent, either. Ooh, almost. Still a good idea. I mean, it ended up getting the limb. They had to move out of the spot they were in. Healing station, just wait. Be patient. See how you're being patient here, by the way? That's what I was talking about with Reaper. Not bad. Hanzo. Okay, what next? Don't stand in the cart. They have a hero that can literally helix you and you fall over. You move around the cart when you're doing this. Just a little bit. Just don't... I'm watching. Here we we go. Still watching? Don't... Remember, they have an arrow around that area, so you gotta be careful of that. This is a tough spot, because, like, I understand why they're on the cart, but I think they can also just sprint up the back stairs right now. I would like to see a bit more map control, but I also understand this. Also, good pick. You're fine. It worked out. You could have went up in the stairs and just kind of taken away a whole side of the map for them, especially with where they were playing. So, I mean, your team's playing well. Can't complain about that. They finally, I love how, like, I'm like, yeah, I'd love to see more map control. That'd be great. They finally go for it and get one shot immediately. They just fall over to a Hanzo. I love that. Because, you know what, chat? Like, I'm still okay with this play. That's the thing. Is, like, I see that play, and, like, in that situation with the ultimates that you have and the ultimates that they have, you need to go make a play. They're going to have an advantage for a little bit there. So I'm okay with that. It's just funny that when you finally do it, that's what happens. Like, I still like that you went for it. All right, Soldier 76 again. We'll see what happens. Good job taking an off angle. Be careful now. You know the arrow's there. They're gonna know you're here, so you want to be careful of that. There's a certain point where, like, once they know you're there, and they've also kind of expended cooldowns towards you, it's okay to back away a second while, like, you wait for all that to reset. Like, one of the strengths of Soldier 76 is you can sprint around the map. Like, you can just sprint behind him right now. Like, shoot at him, sprint. Great rock by your teammate. So one of the play styles of Soldier 76 is you kind of just, like, shoot a few bullets and then go hee-hee and then run away. Like, that's Soldier 76. When you stay there for too long, and I've done this on Soldier 76, when you stay there for too long, that's what can happen, is, like, you'll just get rolled. So, you know, do 50% damage, run away. They start to expend cooldowns, they start to worry about you more, and then the moment that, like, you recognize they're not really just turning for you because they're just like, okay, I'm not dealing with that soldier, then that's where you'll kind of pop off and make a play. So you kind of stay there for too long. I actually think you would have probably went back to spawn a lot sooner if it wasn't for your Sigma's Rock that saved you. So, just remember that on Soldier. You can play a little bit more of that sprint around the map. So. It looks like your team's just gonna win. I think you just won this game. Nice job. Let's go. Just like that. That was quick. All right. That was a good job. What I'll say here is, like, yeah, your Junkrat was good. I think you got good value out of Junkrat when you could. You recognized when you weren't getting good value. So I saw a good plays on that one. Overall, I mean, Soldier 76, you know, to kind of just, like, how do I put this? Like, as Soldier 76, you just want to make sure you sprint around the map a little bit more. I think that'd be a good play for you. Overall, it wasn't too bad. I also like that you started to recognize that you needed to switch. It wasn't too bad. It was fun to watch a 34-minute Masters game, too, on this map. And I imagine on other maps where Junkrat gets more value, you probably have a lot more fun on those maps, too, so, which is always nice. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, sub to all three YouTubes if you have. A lot of awesome videos on there. If you want to submit your own spectating, if you look in the description below, you'll see my Discord. That's where you submit the spectatings. We record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch chat right there. Stop by if you haven't. We have a lot of fun here. It's always a good time. With that being said, hope you all have an amazing day/night.